Hey, Jay here. Welcome to this super quick video to wrap up your training. If you're here, you should have already read the number one hack. If you haven't, you can go to the homepage. You can do that after this training, actually after this webinar, and you can just download the hack. Just go to breakup-book.com. Okay, so if you have gone through the hack on the other hand, then you're in the right place. Okay, so I think most of you know my story, so I'm going to respect your time. I know it's late on a Saturday, so I'm not going to go into detail here. Again, you can go and see the video anytime. I think it's breakup-training.com/my story, all one word. Okay, so the gist of it is that I was working as a computer programmer when I went through my breakup. I'm an introvert, like many people out there, and I didn't want to ask my friends for help because I felt raw and vulnerable. And you know, no one likes putting all the issues on the table for all to see, right? I mean, who does that kind of thing? Anyway, I was searching online pretty much every day and consuming all this content from everywhere, and well, looking for help, for a way out. And at one point I realized none of it was actually helping. In fact, I was becoming overwhelmed. Have you had that feeling yet? I was sick to the back teeth of reading articles and tips by everybody and anybody. Seriously. So what I realized when I got to that point is why that advice, all that advice online, doesn't work. The problem is not really the content. The problem really is that it's a lot of tips coming from a lot of people, okay? And so there's no structure. There isn't a structure, there isn't a path, okay? It's like having a phone book with a million phone numbers, but they're not in alphabetical order. That's not going to be useful for you, but it doesn't mean that the information in the book is wrong. All those numbers might be active, might be fine, but yeah, what are you going to do with a million numbers if you can't quickly find the information that you need? Okay, so you know, and anyone going through a breakup, you know, is not really in a position to think clearly and make good decisions, right? So what they want right now, in fact, what you want if you're here watching this for this very reason, is a clear path. You want big arrows pointing the way, and a guide that just removes the thinking, okay? And that's what my 7 hacks are. It's actually a structured program, okay? Each hack builds upon the other, so they're actually stacked in a certain order. And of course, I didn't have the luxury of knowing what the right order was. It took me a bloody long time, and it's only when I got to the end of it all, in hindsight, that I was able to arrange them in a certain order. And the logic behind that is that because most things in life are like that. You can't do C until you take care of B, and you can't take care of B until you've mastered A. It's just one of those things. It's like you can't run before you can walk. Okay, so just like any other process, again, you can do what I did and go at this like a pinball, be all over the place, and take bloody ages, take weeks, months to figure it all out. Or you can have someone say, okay, do this first, forget about everything else, do this first, then do that, and boom, you're done. Okay, that's what you call a shortcut. So that's exactly what I was at that point. If we backtrack a bit, I was overwhelmed, frustrated, and I had no idea what to do. Okay, so I've never been a serial dater anyway, so I had no experience in this area. So for somebody like me, this was a nightmare. You know how it is, you know, the low self-esteem, the zero confidence, and the crazy thing the mind does when it gets stuck in a loop and you just can't let go of something. If you've experienced this, then you know how infuriating it is. I call this mind chatter. It's like your mind is a separate entity whose only purpose is to piss you off. Can you relate to this so far? Okay, I'm seeing the chat box here. Okay, so So when I had, oh yeah, I had my breakthrough. Then I was actually I wasn't looking for it. In fact, I was staring at my computer screen. I was in work. I was in my office, and yeah, I got to thinking how much like a virus this process actually is. It hijacks your mental resources and it stops you from performing. That's pretty much how a virus works. Now, this may seem a bit bizarre to some people, but being able to isolate something that I didn't understand into a concept that I did understand was the turning point. And the more I thought about it in this way, the more I was able to come up with just how to beat this and get on with my life, which is the thing that I wanted to do was move on, leave the past behind me and just not have hang-ups, just be able to just go forward. Okay, so the secret was to disrupt myself in 7 specific ways. Obviously, I didn't know that at that point. Now, I also had to get back control of my mind. It was like a game of chess. You need to control the main piece. You need to control the center of the board. I don't actually play chess, as some of you can tell, but I think that the whole strategy is that you need to control the center of the board. Okay, so for me, I had to get control of my mind, or get back control because it used to be mine, and through a lot of searching and looking at this here and there, I discovered that there is something called NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and that's the very tool to do this. So I actually became qualified in NLP because I wanted to know everything. And this is why when you come across my books, it always says NLP qualified author. If it makes sense, obviously, I add that in there. But yeah, actually, that was accidental because I actually wanted to know everything about the subject in order to help myself. So, on the way, and obviously that wasn't free. That took a lot of time and it actually took money as well. So, okay, so in fact, there is a nice NLP primer in the free download. So hopefully, if you've downloaded already the sample, and again, I'll say this again for those of you who haven't done so, it's just go to breakup-training.com, okay, and you just opt in and you get a free download, and that actually has my first hack, the first of 7 hacks, okay, the key hack for you to start the process of moving on. Okay, so there is a nice NLP primer in the download that you get, and if you've read that, then hopefully you're already making progress in that area. The rest of the book, by the way, has elements of NLP woven in and around the hacks. Okay, I've done that to make them really effective. Excuse me. Okay, so you know what? The one thing I haven't got here with me is water. Can you believe it? Okay, so it's okay. I won't take much of your time anyway. Okay, so by the way, you don't have to understand how viruses work to follow these hacks. Okay, that was my concept of what this, or how to isolate this, and then how to work against this. Okay, but I don't know how electricity works, but I can benefit from it because nice people build light switches for simple people like me. Okay, you get what I'm saying. Nobody needs to understand how an engine works to drive a car. It's the same with these 7 hacks. They are the end product, so you can just read and apply each one. Okay, there's nothing to do with computers. They're actually human hacks, of course. The things that you do to your mind, to your environment, and so on. Okay, so if you don't mind, if I may ask for permission to make you an irresistible offer at this point, okay? I think I said in the video of my story how you can't really go through these hacks without changing at the end of it all. This is a journey and it's all about change. For me personally, it changed me forever. I've never really been confident or assertive before I went through this. It wasn't overnight for me, of course. In fact, it took ages because I had to test everything. And for every one thing that I found that worked, 5 didn't. Okay, so this is precisely why I feel so strongly about this book. okay? Because I know it can help you if you are ready to be helped. It can shortcut your journey massively, maybe by weeks, maybe by months. It can remove a lot of stress by showing you what to avoid, what not to do, and what to focus on, and when to focus on that. And believe me, it wasn't easy to figure out the order of things. I could only do that in hindsight. But it's not magic. Of course, nothing is. Ultimately, you have to make those changes. I can only show you what I did that worked for me. And the reason I believe you need this book is because right now, the price of the book is actually the cost of a few coffees, maybe a week's worth of morning lattes. If somebody had given me a lifeline like this, when I needed it, I would have paid them 10 times more easily. The cost of this book is probably what the average worker earns in a couple of hours. Okay, so if the book saves you 2 hours of your life, you've broke even. Anything else above that is pure profit. An hour of your time is worth more than it was an hour ago. Okay, because now you have 1 hour less. Isn't that a disturbing thought? This means that eventually 1 hour of your time will be worth many times more than the cost of this book right now. Although in reality, I believe that 1 hour of your time is already worth more than, the price of this book. Much, much more. And you should believe that too. It is your time. That said, I'm not going to stop there. I know it's a very cheap book. When you buy this book today, I will also throw in my best 32 videos. These are videos that cover some of the most frequently asked questions. There's almost 2 hours of video training in total. If all you were buying were 32 videos, I think the price would already be more than justified. But I'm throwing those in as a bonus. You'll get a link to the videos all in one place where you can just access them at your own convenience. So to recap, the price you see below this video is for the Breakup Book, which contains the 7 hacks you need, and you also get access to the 32 videos all in one convenient page. All you need to do is click the button, and that will take you to the order page where you can access your goodies immediately. As soon as you pay, boom, you've got your stuff, so there's no waiting around. Okay, well, I hope you make the right decision for you. I do wish you all the very best. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you've allowed me to share this with you. Okay, all the best.